HOA Karen blocked my dad from Porch didn't know he's the police chief. The moment Karen strutted onto her porch, megaphone in hand, I knew the neighborhood was in for a show. Her voice, sharp enough to curdle milk, blared across the cul-de-sac, declaring war on unsightly lawn decorations. My dad, sipping coffee in our garage, just chuckled until she pointed at our house and called his vintage motorcycle an eyesore. I'm Jake, I'm 17, and I've lived in this sleepy suburb of Maplewood my whole life. It's the kind of place where kids bike in circles and neighbors wave over picket fences. But Karen, she's the HOA president who treats our street like her personal kingdom. Last month, she fined Mrs. Delgado for planting non-approved roses. The month before, she reported Mr. Thompson's dog for barking at 6 a.m. We all knew her game power, control, and a knack for making everyone miserable. Dad, though, wasn't fazed. He's the kind of guy who fixes problems quietly, probably because he's been Maplewood's police chief for 15 years. Karen didn't know that. Nobody in the HOA did. Dad liked it that way, keeping his job low-key to avoid special treatment. It started small. Karen sent a letter demanding Dad move his motorcycle from the driveway to the garage by Friday or face a $200 fine. Dad ignored it, polishing the bike instead. I watched from my window as Karen stormed over. Her clipboard clutched like a weapon. "This is a violation," she shrieked, jabbing a finger at the bike. Dad, calm as ever, said, "It's on my property. Karen, relax." Her face turned beet red, and I swear I saw steam. That's when she doubled down, posting a neon orange violation notice on our mailbox for all to see. The neighbors whispered. I overheard Mrs. Delgado mutter, "She's gone too far this time." The tension simmered for days. Karen escalated, emailing the HOA listserv with photos of Dad's bike, calling it a hazard to community aesthetics. She rallied her loyalists, mostly busybodies with too much time to patrol the street, noting every infraction. I caught her measuring our grass with a ruler one morning. 3 inches. "Jake," she snapped when I asked what she was doing. "HOA rules say 2.5 max. I rolled my eyes, but inside, I was fuming. This wasn't about grass or bikes. It was about Karen needing to win. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. At the next HOA meeting, a new face showed up, Mrs. Patel, a quiet widow who just moved in. She stood up, trembling, and revealed Karen had been charging her special assessments for her wheelchair ramp, claiming it lowered property values. The room gasped. Even Karen's cronies looked uneasy. Mrs. Patel, voice cracking, said she'd been saving for her grandson's college fund, but Karen's fines were draining her. I glanced at Dad. His jaw tightened, the way it does when he's about to act. I knew something big was brewing. Karen, unfazed, kept pushing. She declared a new rule: no vehicles, not even bikes, could be visible from the street. That meant Dad's motorcycle had to go inside or be towed. She tacked a final notice on our door, complete with a date for the tow truck. I was livid, but Dad just said, "Let her dig her own grave." Jake, I didn't get it then, but I trusted him. He'd handled worse than Karen in his career: drug busts, bar fights, even a hostage situation once. A suburban tyrant was child's play. The neighborhood buzzed with gossip. Some sided with Karen, saying rules were rules. Others, like Mrs. Delgado and Mr. Thompson, started whispering about a rebellion. I overheard them at the mailbox, planning to challenge Karen's presidency. But Karen was one step ahead. She announced a compliance sweep where she'd personally inspect every property. That's when she made her fatal mistake. On the day of the sweep, Dad was in his police chief uniform, heading to a community outreach event. He stepped onto our porch to grab the mail when Karen marched up, megaphone blaring. "You're trespassing," she shouted, blocking his path. "This household is non-compliant, and I'm reporting you." Dad raised an eyebrow, his badge catching the sunlight. The crowd gathering across the street froze. Karen, oblivious, kept ranting, I don't care who you are. Move that junk bike, or I'll have it impounded. I was watching from the garage, heart pounding. Karen had no idea who she was yelling at. Dad stayed calm, but his voice dropped low, the way it does when he's done playing nice. Ma'am, step aside. You're obstructing a police officer. Karen laughed a sharp, mocking cackle. Police, you nice try. She whipped out her phone, live streaming to the HOA's social media. Look at this guy, thinking he's above the law. That's when Mrs. Patel rolled up in her wheelchair, flanked by Mrs. Delgado and Mr. Thompson. Karen, enough, Mrs. Patel shouted. Her voice, usually soft, carried a fire I hadn't heard before. She held up bank statements, showing thousands in fines Karen had demanded. The crowd murmured. Karen's face faltered, but she doubled down. This is my neighborhood. You'll all regret crossing me. Dad had had enough. He stepped forward, badge gleaming, and said, Karen, I'm Chief Daniel Harper, Maplewood PD. You're harassing residents, extorting money, and now obstructing an officer? Step aside. The crowd gasped. Karen's phone slipped from her hand, still streaming. Her loyalists slunk back. The neighbors' phones were out now, recording her meltdown. She stammered, You can't do this, I'm in charge. But the tide had turned. Mrs. Delgado revealed she'd been collecting complaints about Karen for months, dozens of them. From illegal fines to verbal harassment. Mr. Thompson admitted he'd recorded Karen threatening to tow his car over a single weed in his yard. The evidence piled up, and Karen's empire crumbled. Dad radioed the station, and within minutes, 2 officers arrived not to arrest her, but to escort her to a meeting with the city attorney. The live stream captured it all. Karen, red-faced and silent, climbing into a squad car. The aftermath was swift. The HOA held an emergency vote, stripping Karen of her presidency. Mrs. Patel was elected interim chair, promising transparency and fairness. Karen's fines were refunded, her special assessments exposed as scams. The neighborhood threw a block party to celebrate, and Dad's motorcycle stayed proudly in the driveway. Karen moved away a month later. Her house sold to a young couple who planted wildflowers in the yard. Looking back, it wasn't just about a bike or a porch. It was about standing up to someone who thought they could bully everyone into submission. Karen's reign showed how power can corrupt, but it also showed how a community can fight back when pushed too far. Dad says justice isn't about revenge, it's about balance. I think he's right. What do you think? Was Karen just enforcing rules? Or did she deserve her downfall? Share your thoughts. I'm curious to hear.